Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. Let's do some two-card setup comparisons across the board. I wanted to see what things would look like if I just did two cards. So one everyday card or one card that accentuates the everyday card very well in an ecosystem, and then the sort of premium or base or travel card associated with that ecosystem. Now with one, I'm cheating, but I just wanted to see how far we could go with no annual fee. And I could swap in the annual fee card and just to show what those results look like, which will be slightly interesting. So what I'm doing here is I'm going to Rich with Points' website. Shout out to Rich with Points. And I'm just doing 5 two-card setups. Now I'm going to go between two screens because Rich with Points only allows for 3 wallets at a time. We're going to do the wallet setup just because you can get that first year and year 2 and beyond value. We're going to do 2-card setups. Representing Chase is going to be the Chase Sapphire Reserve and the Chase Freedom Unlimited. I do hold the Freedom Unlimited. I do have the Sapphire Reserve. What is my yearly expectation going forward with value? The second wallet will be the Citi Strata Elite and the Citi Strata, which I think that if you're jumping into the Citi ecosystem, which I would be in this situation, if you're jumping into the Citi ecosystem, the Strata Elite and the Strata are a really good 1-2 punch, and we'll jump into why in just a little bit. Now, Citi fans, I know that you can do whatever you want with your wallets. I know that you can do the Strata and the double cash. Why? You're paying $595 and supplementing with a card for no annual fee that only gets you 0.5% more or 0.5 point more. I don't know. You can do that. But I do think that there's a better bet with the Strata Premier double cash, and you can throw in however many custom caches you want. I'm not doing that for this setup, but I'm aware that Citi gives you plenty of opportunity. I'm also aware that Chase can give you plenty of opportunity. Wells Fargo and American Express can also give you plenty of opportunity. I'm trying to keep it simple, just 2 cards, see what we can do from there. Representing American Express would be the American Express Platinum card and the American Express Blue Business Plus. Blue Business Plus is your everyday card, up to 50K in spend. Platinum does everything else. And yes, I know that we could do a trifecta. I'm just looking at 2-card setup, not a 3-card setup. I'd get a little interesting with the 3-card setup. If you want to see what I would do with 3-card setups, let me know down below. So that's going to be the third wallet. The fourth wallet will be the Capital One Duo, and the fifth wallet is going to be the Wells Fargo Autograph and the Wells Fargo Active Cash. Don't know why I stumbled on Autograph there. Now, what I'll probably do toward the end is swap in the Autograph journey for the Autograph just to see what sort of difference there may be going forward. Really, I don't think it's going to be that big a difference, because all you're really getting on the journey versus the Autograph, you're getting higher spend in hotels, you're getting higher multipliers in hotels, higher multipliers in direct flights. You're losing a bunch of the travel category. You're not getting gas. You're not capturing a couple of other things. You are getting that $50 airline credit every year, and it is a $95 annual fee. So you do have to take that into account. Let's look at our first 3 wallets, then we'll pull up the next 2 and go from here. Here we go. So wallet setup number 1. Sapphire Reserve, Freedom Unlimited, Strata Elite, Strata, American Express Platinum, American Express Blue Business Plus. From jump, our year 1 value is going to be $4,843 on the Chase setup, $4,134 on the Citi setup, and $4,989 on the American Express setup. Now, just a couple of caveats. I am using Rich with Points' just basic spend across all categories. I did not set this up to my own personal spend. And when it comes to credits, I'm doing an all or nothing system for myself. So if I would use all of the credits, I will credit myself all of the credits. If it's something like a monthly credit, and I cannot guarantee that I will use this credit every single month, I am not counting that credit. So if it's all or nothing, I will count it. If there's any shade of gray, I will defer to not giving myself partial credit. So as we know, these setups, $7.95 for Chase, $5.95 for Citi, and $6.95 for American Express. Airfare, 4 times points at Chase, so it would be 8.2. I'm also setting this up with travel partner redemptions, not with direct cash or portal bookings only. So Chase points are 2.05. Citi points are 1.85, although this will likely change once they take into account American Airlines. And Rich uses the points guy, but again, Rich's website's super flexible. You can set up whatever point system you want. So if you are typically getting 5.5 cents per point from American Airlines because you're only using it for international business and international first, you can put in that 5.5% number, and these numbers will just blow everything else out of the water because of the insane value that you're getting from American Airlines. I just have it set to travel partner presets, and we're using the points guys evaluations. Do with that what you will. It is just a nice, simple baseline, but just know that I'm aware that the math here is a little bit fuzzy, and I'm just using the basic math. Your advanced math will be different. Airfare on American Express, you're going to get 10x because 5x on the card, but 2 cents per point, so effectively 10x. Portal numbers get a little bit weird because, again, 2.05 times 8 is going to be 16.4, 1.85 times 6 is 11.1, and 5 times 2 is 10. The transfer partner boost gets you 3.08x. The Citi Strata Elite would be your catch-all card in this situation, 2.78 times points per dollar. And of course, the leader of the pack would be the 4x on the Blue Business Plus. Dining, 6.15 consistently from either Chase card. Drugstore, 6.15 for the Chase card. Dining for Citi would be 5.55. Dining for American Express, 4. Drugstores, 6.15, 2.78, and 4. EV charging, the Strata will push Citi into the lead here. Fast food, back to Chase. Gas stations, the Citi getting 3x at gas stations pushes it into the lead in this category. Same for groceries. Same would be true for groceries online. Hotels, 8.2 for Chase. Only 4 for American Express. 2.78 for Citi. Hotels in the portal, Citi will pull into the lead at 22.2, then Chase at 16.4, and American Express at 10. Lyft gets its own category, but typically rideshare would be much lower across the board. Lyft is only highlighted because Lyft is a special promotional category on the Sapphire Reserve. Parking will go down to 3.8 for Chase, 5.55 for Citi, so I'm guessing parking is included on the Strata quarterly categories. Only highlighted because of the Citi Strata, that would get 5.55. You're going to get 20.5x on special categories because Chase has Peloton, everybody else doesn't. Tolls will go back to the Citi Strata, transit will go back to the Citi Strata. Now we're going to go to the benefits filter. Now I've turned off TSA PreCheck across the board because I currently hold TSA PreCheck. I am, however, turning on Clear Plus for American Express because I would likely use this credit. This credit has also been updated to $209, although not yet officially. Rental car insurance. Chase offers rental cars insurance, but I live in New York, so I don't get this benefit. American Express, it is secondary on there. And again, Citi still does not give us a clear picture of what their car rental agreements look like, so they get NA for that. Cell phone insurance, if this is something that is important to me, American Express will be the winner in this first wallet. Capital One and Wells Fargo will also be involved in that element. Chase and Citi do not have it. Credits and disclosure. So I'm going to say if I'm using all of the hotel credits, I will then use all of the hotel credits. $500 for the edit, $300 in the hotel credit on the Citi Strata Elite, but I'd have to book 2 nights at least with those. American Express for now is a $300 credit for 1 night through FHR. And you can get that $100 on-site experience credit. Other full credits I would enable: the splurge credit from Citi, the airline fee credit from American Express, the Walmart Plus credit from through the American Express Platinum card, 10 cents off a gallon at ExxonMobil, which would be super helpful, but only be collecting 2 points per dollar and an effective 4x with the Blue Business Plus. Complimentary TV and Apple Music. I'm absolutely going to be doing that. I've turned off the $300 DoorDash credit. I've turned off the $300 exclusive tables dining credit. I have turned on the StubHub credit. I can use that twice a year relatively easily. $150 back. Perfect. If my tickets for something are $160, cool. I only paid $10 out of pocket at that point. And I've turned on the Dash Pass membership, but I have not turned on the Lyft credits, the Peloton credits, or the full DoorDash credits, because if there's months where I skip any of those, I'm not going to count it. So over here, I would not be using the Equinox credit or the Uber Cash or the Saks credit or nope, it's just the Uber Cash here. Cool. I'm not turning on any of these spend $75,000, get these credits. So we're going to skip over those. Instant perks, IHG Platinum on the Sapphire Reserve, car rental privileges. You get status with Avis, Hertz, and National. Hilton Gold, Bonvoy Gold, authorized user cards, both would require $195 added to the fees. Global dining access by Resi. Cool, whoop-de-doo. Lounge access, you get more lounge access with the American Express Platinum. You get Priority Pass and Sapphire Lounges and Maple Leaf Lounges as well, also hinted here. 4 Admirals Club passes and Priority Pass Select with the Citi Strata Elite. Point modifiers, if I were to book through the travel portal, I would get at least, I would be getting 2x, assuming I'm getting points boost activated. No point modifiers in the travel portals for the other 2 cards here, in the other 2 wallets here, or any of the other wallets we're going to look at. We'll skip over travel protections and let's just go to year 1 calculations. Now, again, this is just the generic spending that the Rich with Points website gives you. So I have not modified those. But year 1 value, as I said, 48.43, 41.34, 49.89. But we come down to year 2. This is where things get a little bit interesting, right? In year 2, these values change where the Chase setup becomes the best setup of the bunch for me based on the credits that I've added and the spend above. Now, this is going to say that my total points would be, if my total points were 273,796 points a year, I would be deriving $3,413 with Chase. The same sort of base level spend would net me 269,000 points from American Express. But given all of the credits and everything, and versus the annual fee, I would be getting a $3,089 net value in year 2. And with Citi, I would fall far behind at $2,654 in year 2. That is this first set of wallets. Based on what credits I would use on an all or nothing take, and just setting up the wallets that I would most likely use, Chase is going to be the best bet for me here. Now we're going to go to the other wallet here and just show what that would look like. And this is a 2 wallet setup of the Capital One Duo, as I said, and the Wells Fargo Active Cash and Autograph. So year 1, $4,416 with Capital One, only $2,832 with Wells Fargo. But here's where it gets interesting. Your year 2 values become $3,013 with Capital One and $2,312 with Wells Fargo. Airfare, Wells Fargo will win with, even with a smaller transfer point ratio. You go 3x on airfare. On the autograph, you're going to get an effective return of 4.8. And the portal, you're going to get 9.25 on the Venture X. Portal with Wells Fargo doesn't believe in portals. The higher transfer capability of Capital One will give you 3.7x. Wells Fargo is not far behind at 3.2 on the active cash. Car rentals, you're going to get 4.8. Portal will be a different story. Cell phones, you're going to get 4.8 on Wells Fargo. Cruises, 4.8. 4.8 in their portal versus 3.7. Dining, the Saver will get you 5.55, but 4.8 on the autograph, not shabby. EV charging, autograph. Fast food goes back to the Saver. Gas stations, autograph. Groceries, it's going to be the Saver by a country mile because your best bet is the active cashier, and it's only 3.2. Same for online groceries. Hotels, Win will go to the autograph. Portal will go to the Venture X. Lyft and ride shares, general travel, will go to the autograph. Movie theaters go to the Saver. Parking, autograph. Rideshare, autograph. Select entertainment, Saver. Streaming services, Saver at 5.55 versus 4.8. Everything else is going to be a sweep for Wells Fargo across the board. TSA pre-check I've turned off. I am going to turn on the anniversary bonus, obviously, for the Venture X. And I'm going to, if I'm holding the card, it may as well do the all or nothing annual credit with the $300 coupon and the travel credit. I did turn it on with my first set of cards, so I'm going to turn it on for this one. We'll rerun everything by turning these off just to give you a sense of what that would look like. Instant perks and status. Venture X is an actual travel card. The autograph is no annual fee, like starter travel credit card, because again, no annual fee, but transfer partners. So there's that. Travel protections. All right, so across the board. Now, looking at the year 2 valuation for these cards, $3,013 for a value with the Capital One setup versus $2,312. But again, you're spending $395 for these two cards versus $0 for these two cards. And your total points, if you spend, depending on how you spend, using the generics here, 292,300 points on Capital One, 231,200 points with Wells Fargo. That ain't bad. It's a $700 difference, but you're paying $395 here and nothing here. That's not completely terrible. Now, if I turn off the $300 value in the Capital One portal, it gets shockingly close. $2,713 in value in year 2 versus $2,312. That Wells setup is sneaky good. Turn off the hotel credits here. Turning off the hotel credits shows us evaluation change year over year. Chase drops down to $2,913. Citi will drop to $2,354, and American Express drops to $2,789. There is a less than $100 difference in between Capital One and American Express. There is a $43 difference between Citi and Wells Fargo. And then with all the credits that I would use, all or nothing, this again does not take into account any partial credit. I'm now $200 ahead, nearly $200 ahead with Chase versus Citi, and this is Chase. This is versus American Express, and by then Capital One. So a 2-card setup using just the generic spend that Rich with Points' website does, a modifier of transfer points and not portal bookings, not cash bookings, not cash back. The Chase setup still works the best for me. American Express will come in second, then Capital One, then Citi, and then Wells Fargo, except Wells Fargo is again being done with 2 no annual fee cards. You can get $2,300 in value for no money out of pocket, which is crazy pants. So using these 2 cards, year 1 would be 3483 with the autograph journey versus the Capital One Duo versus 4116 with the Capital One Duo. 2713 remaining for Capital One, 2323 for the autograph setup, which doesn't really surprise me because you're not getting a ton back, a huge difference. Right, a lot of things will default back to each other. General travel, there you go. So this is, I'm using the $50 airline credit. So year 2 breakdown is I'm getting $50 in credit here and the anniversary bonus here. And again, it's a $400 difference or $390 difference for a $95 annual fee versus paying $395. The Citi setup is still the weakest overall to me because, again, you're paying $595 for that. If I'm not using the hotel credit with Citi, I am just killing myself with overall second year setup. So did we learn anything insightful today? The Chase setup is still far stronger than a lot of us will give it credit for. We're poo-pooing the Sapphire Reserve, but with everyday credits, all or nothing credits that you can use on the Sapphire Reserve versus the American Express Platinum, it's still punching pretty well. This is, again, before the Platinum's refresh that's coming in the fall. These 2-card setups, they're not terrible setups, and they're definitely the setups that I would likely do across these banks. For no annual fee, I'm not doing significantly worse with Wells Fargo than I would be with Citi. And like Citi, you do get to customize a lot more than the other ones because you can give yourself an army of custom cash cards because you don't know what grass looks like in the sun stopped being a thing for you a while ago, even though you do this for travel. But 2-card setups, you could do pretty good with Chase still, even though Chase is losing a lot of glimmer in folks' eyes. This is setting up on transfer partners versus just using the portals. This is setting up not using cashback. And again, I'm not even factoring in the $30 a month that you could do with Chase with DoorDash. This doesn't include Peloton. This doesn't include Equinox. This doesn't include Saks. This doesn't include a bunch of the other credits that I myself wouldn't use, and I myself wouldn't go out of my way to use because, oh, it's a credit. I forgot. It's June and I still haven't done my Saks credit. Like, I didn't even give myself that opportunity. Would I do this credit? Yes or no? Yes to StubHub, no to Saks. They're both semi-annual credits. I even ran both with and without the hotel programs associated with each card setup, and Chase is still winning for me. Now, again, you should fine-tune your spending. The wallet tool, the best use case for the wallet tool is to actually put in your actual spending and run it for yourself. I'm just using the generics here because A, I don't want you seeing how much my actual spending is, and B, I don't feel like putting that together right now. So that's going to do it for this one. If you like what I do, hit the subscribe button. Check out the Stack Your Points podcast that we record on Monday nights. We release it Wednesdays and Fridays here on YouTube. 2 videos are going to pop up here in a couple seconds. Definitely check those out. Check out the Bridge Banter podcast. We're coming back next week with another recap of Star Trek Lower Decks. That is me and RJ from Stack Your Points. Check out the membership if you'd like. You can join at any time, $2.99 a month. You can cancel at any time. I'm trying to make that more valuable for y'all. And check out my pinned comment for ways to support me outside of YouTube. That would also be a huge help. But share, subscribe, and ring the button, I guess, the bell. I don't know. Thanks so much for your time. I will talk to you later.